as part of his defense that he was the first in Venice to publish the Index Librorum Prohibitorum. In response, the tribunal decides to merely fine him and order him to perform penance. The Inquisition's seizure of inventory and the forced closure of his shop for 6 months proves too much for Valgrisi. He chooses to retire and leaves the business to his sons. A few months later, for the 5th time in his smuggling career, Donzelino is brought to trial. Girolamo Donzelino has made his final delivery. In the past, he had been freed after abjuring. But this time, the Inquisition tribunal finds Donzelino guilty of heretical activities. They turn him over to the secular authorities. He will never be seen again.
Killing people doesn't seem to us, generally speaking, over ideas, seems to us not to be a very good idea after 2,000 years of history, I mean, of the history of the West as we know it, that is. And generally, so we disapprove deeply of this kind of purgation, but it seems to me it is possible to understand it within the context of its times, and also to understand it within the context, sort of sociology of religion context, understanding how communities react to threats which they regard to be dire or fatal.
People have defended the Inquisition on the grounds that it must be judged in its proper historic context, so that if, for example, people were being burned at the stake in 1500, this can't be viewed from today's perspective, but has to be viewed in a society where this was not that uncommon. Yet we have to realize that not only were they being burned at the stake, but they were being burned because of their opinion. The crime for which the church was putting them to death in this horrible fashion was that they disagreed with the official interpretation of church doctrine. And this is, in a way, the many, many tragedies of the Inquisition.
Continued pressure shuts down most of the presses in Venice. The flow of illicit books coming into the Italian peninsula all but runs dry. All books written by Protestants are placed on the list. So is the Bible in common languages. In 1606, the entire city of Venice is excommunicated. The Index of Prohibited Books will not be abolished until 1966.